So, Caitlin Clark, aka the scheduling conflict. Yeah, the scheduling conflict.
Caitlin Clark's rapid rise to fame is changing women's basketball in a way never seen before. Her huge fan base is so big that teams are moving their games from their usual arenas to larger NBA venues just to fit all the people who want to watch her play. Cities like Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, and Washington are all making this change to meet the high demand. At the same time, Angel Reese, who once confidently called herself the face of women's basketball, is seeing a different reality unfold. While Clark is set to appear in an incredible 41 nationally televised games, Reese is not getting the same level of attention. As Clark's popularity grows, Reese's time in the spotlight seems to be fading.
That Caitlin Clark is that she's getting new arenas, getting moved to new arenas. You've got people saying that they're pushing the fever. Why are they pushing the fever?
The rivalry that many fans were looking forward to is turning into something much bigger than just basketball. It's not just about two players competing anymore. It's about a massive change that is reshaping the entire WNBA. The league is going through one of the biggest transformations in its history, and things will never be the same again. For the first time ever, 6 WNBA teams have made a shocking decision. They are moving their home games to much larger NBA arenas, but only for the games where they will face Caitlin Clark. This isn't just a small adjustment or a temporary change. It's a game-changing shift in the way the league operates. These teams are making the move because Clark's popularity has skyrocketed, bringing in record-breaking fan interest. The demand to see her play is so overwhelming that regular WNBA venues simply aren't big enough to hold the massive crowds. As a result, teams are taking extraordinary steps to ensure that more fans can experience these matchups in person. This moment marks a turning point for the WNBA, proving that the league is entering a new era, one driven by superstar power, massive audiences, and a level of excitement that has never been seen before.
Caitlin Clark is going to spend all of next season playing in NBA arenas. I saw a tweet, and it is the craziest thing, that there are 6 WNBA teams that have moved their games to NBA or NBA size arenas.
Let's take a moment to really understand how big this change is. These WNBA teams aren't just moving to slightly bigger arenas with a few extra seats. They are making a major shift to NBA arenas that can hold 3 to 4 times more fans than their usual venues. This is something we've never seen before in women's basketball, and it shows just how much demand there is to watch Caitlin Clark play. For example, the Atlanta Dream has decided to move one of its games to State Farm Arena, the same place where the NBA's Atlanta Hawks play. This arena is much larger than their usual home court and will allow thousands more fans to attend. The Chicago Sky is making an even bigger move. They have relocated 2 games to the United Center, the massive arena where the Chicago Bulls play. This is a huge step because it means they believe there will be enough ticket sales and excitement to justify playing in one of the biggest sports venues in the city. Even the Las Vegas Aces, who are the reigning WNBA champions, are making a change for a Caitlin Clark matchup. Instead of playing in their usual arena, they are moving the game to T-Mobile Arena, a much larger venue that is typically used for big NBA, NHL, and entertainment events. These moves aren't just about convenience. They're a sign of how much women's basketball is growing. Caitlin Clark's popularity is bringing so many new fans to the WNBA that teams are being forced to adapt in ways never seen before. This is more than just a temporary adjustment. It's proof that the league is entering a brand new era.
I don't think that's an NBA arena, but obviously ironically, there was actually a scheduling conflict with the 20,000-seater arena in Washington. That was the only actual scheduling conflict. But the Dream move it to an NBA arena. The Aces move it to a much bigger arena. The Mystics move it to a much bigger arena. The Sky do. The Sun do, and the Wings do. You might be saying, oh, what about those other teams? What about those other teams? They all play in NBA arenas.
Hashtag Caitlin Clark is changing the WNBA before even playing a game. Something huge is happening in the WNBA, and it's bigger than just basketball. The league is going through a massive shift that no one saw coming, and one player, Caitlin Clark, is at the center of it all. Just a few months ago, many teams and league executives downplayed Clark's potential impact. They insisted that the WNBA was already growing and didn't need her to succeed. But now, their actions tell a completely different story. #, teams are moving to NBA arenas just for Clark's games. 6 WNBA teams have made a major decision. They are moving their home games to much larger NBA arenas whenever they play against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. This isn't just about finding a little more space. These arenas can hold 3 to 4 times more fans than their usual venues. The Atlanta Dream is shifting a game to State Farm Arena, where the Atlanta Hawks play. The Chicago Sky is relocating 2 games to the United Center, home of the Chicago Bulls. The Las Vegas Aces, the reigning champions, are moving to T-Mobile Arena, which hosts major sporting events and concerts. The most shocking move comes from the Connecticut Sun, a team that doesn't even have an NBA arena nearby. Instead, they're taking their game against Clark all the way to TD Garden in Boston, moving not just to a different venue, but to an entirely different city and state. Imagine being so eager to capitalize on one player's star power that you move your home game to a completely different location. That's exactly what's happening. This is no longer just about basketball. It's about business. ***. The numbers speak for themselves before Clark. The average WNBA game had around 6,000 fans in attendance. But last season, her college games were selling out 20,000-seat arenas, more than triple the usual WNBA attendance. That's why teams are making these drastic moves. One team executive even admitted that they would rather give up home court advantage than miss out on the revenue Clark generates. Think about that for a second. Teams are willing to sacrifice their competitive edge just to cash in on Clark's popularity. Last season, the WNBA saw a 48% increase in average attendance, and a huge part of that was because of Clark. Now, the league is building its entire schedule around her. Television networks are all in on Clark. If you thought moving to NBA arenas was a big deal, just look at what's happening with TV coverage. Clark is a rookie who hasn't played a single WNBA minute, yet she already has more national TV games than any team in league history. 41 of Indiana's 44 games will be nationally televised this season. Last year, Indiana Fever games were barely on TV. Now they are on ABC, CBS, ESPN, and ION almost every single night. TV networks are fighting over Clark's matchups like it's Black Friday shopping. ABC specifically chose Indiana's games against the Chicago Sky. CBS made sure they got the Fever's matchups against the New York Liberty. ESPN locked in Clark's games against the defending champion Las Vegas Aces. The networks aren't even pretending anymore. They know Clark is the main attraction, and they're making sure she's in front of as many viewers as possible. Angel Reese and other stars are being left behind. Not everyone is happy about this. Other WNBA stars, especially Angel Reese, are watching Clark take over the spotlight that they thought would be shared. Remember when Reese called herself the face of women's basketball during her college battles with Clark? That narrative is completely collapsing in real time. The Chicago Sky is relocating their home games against Indiana, not because of Reese, but because of Clark. On social media, the Sky are still promoting Reese, but when you turn on national broadcasts, it's all about Clark. The Reese versus Clark rivalry that the league tried to hype up is barely even mentioned anymore. Clark isn't just part of the WNBA's rise. She is the reason for it. The business of basketball has changed. This isn't about opinions. The attendance numbers, TV deals, and executive decisions prove the truth. Caitlin Clark is the biggest name in women's basketball. Her 41 nationally televised games are more than any team in WNBA history. 6 teams are relocating to NBA arenas just for her games. TV networks are prioritizing her matchups over every other team. This has never happened before. Not just in the WNBA, but in any professional sport. Normally, a player has to prove themselves at the professional level before they change an entire league. Clark is doing it before even stepping on the court. The future of the WNBA. The WNBA is at a crossroads. Some players may resent Clark's immediate takeover, but the business decisions being made around her are undeniable. The Phoenix Mercury and Seattle Storm, which already play in NBA arenas, are seeing record ticket demand for Indiana games. Some matchups sold out within hours, something unheard of for regular season WNBA games. TV executives believe Clark's games could hit 3 million viewers this season, possibly surpassing some NBA regular season games. Meanwhile, Angel Reese and other stars face a tough choice: embrace Clark's rise and use the attention to build their own brands, or get left behind. Clark isn't taking anything away from anyone. She's bringing millions of new fans to the WNBA. Instead of fighting it, smart players and teams will find ways to benefit from it. This WNBA season is about to be the most watched, most attended, and most talked about in history. Caitlin Clark isn't just moving the needle, she is the needle.